Hey, what's up, Logos American History students? Welcome back. It is Tuesday, April 28th. It is day 25. That's a big anniversary number. I think it's our silver anniversary. Day 25 of our stay-at-home e-learning experience. So we made it almost through the whole month of April. Just a couple of days left, and that's pretty impressive when you think about we started this whole thing. We're back in March, right? So it's been over a month. So good for you for sticking with it, and good for you with all the hard work you guys been doing, especially like yesterday. Yesterday we didn't have a reading or any questions to answer, but we did have a documentary and a discussion. And I don't know how many of you watched the documentary. I mean, no one will ever know. That's on you, whether you watched it or not. But you did make some really good contributions to the discussion board, and I really saw kind of a theme going that the civil rights movement did accomplish a lot, and I agree with those of you who said that it did accomplish a lot. Did it accomplish all of its goals? No, and that was the other theme. Eliminating racism, I don't know if that was a goal of the civil rights movement. Racism, the belief of racism, I don't think, we could ever eliminate that completely. People always find a reason to not like other people. If it's not skin color, then it's going to be hair color or eye color or something else, right? But the goal of the civil rights movement was to make sure that the government isn't racist, right? People can believe whatever they want to believe. That's the great thing about our country, right? But the government can't treat people differently based on the color of their skin, based on their nationality, based on the color of their eyes, based on any of these things. And in that regard, the civil rights movement accomplished quite a bit. And, as a lot of you mentioned in the discussion yesterday, in the question of the day, it was those achievements only happened because of great sacrifice, right? Great sacrifice, people being killed, right? People being attacked with dogs and fire hoses and all kinds of terrible things happening to people who weren't doing anything to hurt anyone else. They didn't want to hurt anyone else. And the thing you got to remember is these people went in knowing this was going to happen, right? They knew they were going to be hurt, and they did it anyway. That's pretty impressive. I think these people are heroic. Building on that theme today, we do have an assignment. I'm a little excited to introduce to you the new assignment format. I don't know how excited I am about it. It's different. It's not perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect with this setup, but I'm hoping it's an improvement on the Blackbaud format for doing assignments and some of the problems that we've had. But if it's not, I want your guys' feedback, right? If you don't like this change, then let me know, and I'm open to going back to the old way. But let me just show you what I'm talking about. We're on Blackbaud. We're on the bulletin board, as always. We see the big message about the Zoom meeting coming up this Thursday at 11. Make sure you carve out some time to make it to that meeting at 11 o'clock. There will be a link sent out. Remember, these are participation points. It helps your grade just for showing up. You don't have to share video or audio. You just got to log in, right? Just be there. That's all we want. The more the merrier. And you get your participation points. If for any reason you cannot do a Zoom meeting, you need to notify me. You need to let me know. If you let me know, then you won't get penalized for the points. If I don't hear from you and you're not there at the Zoom meeting, you get a 0 for your participation points for that day. So make sure you're logging into that Zoom meeting. You don't have to talk. You don't have to share your video. You just want to log in, and I welcome your input. I welcome you to talk. It's good to see your face, but you don't have to. And if for whatever reason you absolutely can't make it to the Zoom meeting, just send me a message, let me know, okay? So you're not penalized. So that's the bulletin board. It has that. It has the instructions. It has yesterday's message for me. And, well, I guess today's message, if you're watching now. And then we have the topics tab, which, remember, this is where you'll always find the topics we've covered so far this term. We started the term off with the 1950s, and we're moving into the civil rights movement last week and this week. When we click on a topic, it opens up and brings us to the readings, where we can download the readings. And this is today's reading, chapter 21, section 3. I'm going to go ahead and download it now. I always like to download those readings first before I start the assignment. And let's take a look at what the reading for today is. It's chapter 21, section 3, the struggle intensifies. We saw a lot of what you're going to read about here in the video yesterday. So if you watched the video yesterday, this will, some of these pictures will look familiar, right? These are people getting food and drinks dumped on their heads by an angry mob of white people. Why is the angry mob of white people dumping food and drinks on their heads? Because they dared sit down at that counter, which is only for white people, right? What else? Oh yeah, the freedom rides. That was in the video yesterday. Freedom rides, people riding in buses around the South trying to register people to vote. What happened? The buses got set on fire by angry mobs of white people. Intensity intensifies, right? Again, this is the violence that many of you discussed yesterday in the question of the day that was, inflicted upon nonviolent protesters. They showed up, said, we are here to cause trouble. We're not here to be violent. We don't want to hurt anybody. And how did the people respond? Attacking them, setting their buses on fire, beating them, throwing food on them. It's disgusting, right? And then throwing them in jail, right? This you'll read today about attacking them with fire hoses. So again, it's very, very ugly. But was it worth it? Did they accomplish what they're setting out to? A lot of you, agree that they did. And then, of course, we have the 4 reading comprehension questions, as always. And remember, those are always going to be under the Assignments tab. So if we go back to Assignments, right, you see today's assignment, Chapter 21, Section 3, right, and the question of the day. And so when you click on Chapter 21, Section 3, you'll see something a little different from previous assignments in that it will bring you to a Google form, right? So we're just going to do Google Forms. That's the big change, right? Other than that, it's going to be the same questions, the same instructions. Read the section, answer the questions, incomplete answers, right? Or incomplete sentences. Only other difference is you got to put in an email address and your name. That's so that we can make sure you get credit for doing it, right? So make sure you put in an email address, make sure you put in your name so that you get credit for it. That's the one drawback when you're from how we used to do them. When you did the Blackbaud assignments before, obviously you're logged into Blackbaud, so it would record your answers under your name. This is a separate site. This is Google Forms, so you got to put in your name and email so you get credit for your answers. And then you just put in your answers, right? Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And then you can choose whether or not you want a copy of your responses emailed to you, and then click Submit. And that's all there is to it, right? So, again, it's the same type of assignment, just a slightly different format. Hopefully an easier format to use. Hopefully it alleviates some of the problems. Again, when you go into that assignment, you'll see a link that says click here to answer the questions, and it'll take you right to this Google form. Also in the assignment will be the reading to download. So that's another place where you can find the reading to download. And then you have the question of the day. And what is the question of the day? Very simple. I just want to get some feedback on this. Again, this will be participation points for you, so make sure you answer this question. I don't care how you answer this question. I just would like your honest feedback. What do you think of the assignment format for today's assignment? Do you like the new Google Forms format better, or do you like the old format? And either way, no pressure. If you say I like the old format, if I get more people saying I like the old format, we'll go back to the old format. If you say it doesn't matter to me, that's fine too. But please make sure you answer that question so you get your participation points and so that we get the feedback on this. And if you have any problems, as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.